Namaste students. Today we'll be starting a new chapter, that is improvement in food resources. All living organism requires food. Food supplies proteins, carbohydrates, fat, vitamins and minerals that is required for body development, growth and health. So plants and animals are the major source of food. We obtain most of this food from agriculture and animal husbandry. So our country is a populous country. Population is more than 1 billion and it is still growing. So for this growing population, there should be increased production of food. And this can be done by farming on more than one land. But the lands are being intensively cultivated. Hence, there is no major scope for increasing the area of land for cultivation. So it is necessary to increase the production efficiency for both crop and livestock. That is, we have to increase our produce with minimum efforts and minimum wastage. So some of the efforts led to the increase in food production. So two important revolutions we have to study. First one is White Revolution. So White Revolution helped in increase in the production of milk. So Dr. Verghese Kurian was the chief architect of this operation. That this operation is also called as Operation Flood. Hence he is called as father of White Revolution. The next one is Green Revolution. So it is a process of increasing agricultural production by incorporation of modern tools and techniques. So Dr. M.S. Swaminathan was the man behind the Green Revolution in India. He introduced high yielding variety of rice and wheat seedling in our country. So he is called as father of Green Revolution. This revolution means that our natural resources are getting used more intensively. Natural resources are nothing but it is something that is found in nature that people can use to meet their needs. So this has caused a major damage to our resources. Hence it is disrupting the balance which is present in the environment. So it is up to our hands to protect our natural resources. This can be done by increasing our food production without degrading our environment. Majority of our population depends on agriculture for their livelihood. Scientific management is undertaken so as to increase the yield. Yield is nothing but it is our produce. So how this yield can be improved? This we'll be studying in the next topic, that is improvement of crop yield. So in this slide you can see wheat, rice, millets, sorghum, maize. These are all cereals. So these are the source of carbohydrates. That is, it provides energy required for the body. Then we have got pulses, that is lentils, beans, etc. They provide protein. Oil seeds like castor oil, that is, we'll be getting castor oil from the castor seeds, then gingerly oil from the sesame seeds. These are the source of necessary fats. Then fodder crops. Fodder crops like besim, then Sudan grass, these are raised for the livestock. So different crop requires different condition, temperature, photoperiod for growth and completion of their life cycle. So photoperiod is nothing but duration of sunlight obtained by the plant. So growth of the plant and flowering depends on the sunlight because the sunlight is being captured by the plant cell for making their food, and this process is called as photosynthesis. Last year you had studied about two types of cropping pattern, Kharif crops and Rabi crops. So Kharifs are generally planted in June and harvested in October. Example, rice, maize, cotton, groundnut. Rabi are generally planted in November and harvested in April. Wheat, barley, pea, gram, etc. While we are practicing farming, we can mainly divide them into 3 stages. First one is choice of seed. So good seed will help us to get good quality of crop variety. Then nurturing of crop plants. So this is a process of caring and encouraging the growth and development of the crop to keep them free from disease and pests. Third one is protection of growing and harvested crops from loss. That is, you have studied various methods in your 8th standard about the removal of weeds, spraying of pesticides, insecticides, etc. and various other ways. So major group of activities for improving the crop yield are crop variety improvement, crop production management and crop protection management.
I am glad that crops are really being looked after. But how do we arrive at a high-yield crop variety?
We find the high-yield crop by a process of selection. The criteria for the selection could be high yield, disease resistance, response to fertilizer, tolerance to climate, etc. Desirable traits are incorporated into the plant by the process of hybridization. In this process, genetically dissimilar plants are crossed. It is one of the methods for crop variety improvement. Hybridization happens by cross-breeding genetically different plants. This crossing may be between two different varieties, known as intervarietal crossing, between two different genera, known as intergeneric crossing, or between two different species, known as interspecific crossing. Another way of improving crop yield is by introducing the desirable genes into the crop plant. This results in genetically modified crop plants that are able to survive in a drought and waterlogged conditions.
Now I get it. Since crop yield is related to weather, soil quality, and availability of water, crop varieties that can grow in different conditions are developed.